It's your boy Kos. Here to talk about Wonder Woman, and I won't take too long because my last video, my last film review went on for about 40 minutes. So Wonder Woman was it was a well done film in my view. Warner Brothers, they always make classic movies. Uh, I was surprised. I was fairly surprised that it wasn't chock filled with feminist propaganda, like I was anticipating. But it did sneak its way in every once in a while. But overall, the film was very entertaining. I thought it captured Wonder Woman's naivete when coming into the world of men very well. I thought that the action sequences were brilliant. I thought that the the costume design was great. I thought that the portrayal of the romance between Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor and what she finds appealing in him is excellently done. Um, just for her to find a guy who is just trying to make it to the next day. He's trying to help the world and do his part in his own little way, and he's immortal. He's not well an immortal like Diana or a god like Diana. So he's trying to do his part to save the world, and the world is at war. Um, and I think that absolutely fascinates her. Uh, and we see it on screen, we see it play out, um, the interaction. So I thought that it was brilliant acting on the part of Gal Gadot, um, and the rest of her supporting cast. Uh, and I have to say, the guy that portrays that Nazi, he always seems to be evil in every one of his movies. He was evil in Wolverine, in the X-Men Origins movie, where he was Stryker's, the young version of Stryker. Just he's evil in just about every film, or he's very deceptive. So I like that he was able to hold his own against Wonder Woman for a time. But I feel like the most surprising aspect of the story was Ares' true identity. Excuse me. Now, spoilers. Uh, I did not expect it to be who he was. I thought Ares was going to rise from hell or something like that, like come out of his exile, and maybe he was imprisoned and he was still influencing the world, or maybe he really just was the Nazi guy, But maybe he would come in another form. But for him to be the person they all trusted, and the leader of an entire nation, that was unexpected. I mean, especially considering his how good natured he appeared to be, how he was the only person that allowed Diana to speak at at the at the meeting. He was the only one that gave her a platform. You thought like, hey, maybe this guy isn't such a bad guy. Turns out he's Ares, and it was interesting because he gave them a chance, and then when you think about it after the fact, it's like, yo, this dude was actively trying to get them to die in battle. So I thought that was interesting. The entire movie is actually one big flashback. Um, Apparently, Wonder Woman went to France for something, and she got her I don't know, her photo from Bruce Wayne. Um, And I guess that's the whole reason she was in Batman versus Superman. Matter of fact, I wanted to talk about DC's cinematic universe real quick. I thought that I think that Wonder Woman as an origin story is an awesome story, and I think that all of the other characters should have origin stories before they make the Justice League movie, because it just appears like they just rushed everything to try and catch up with Marvel in Batman versus Superman and in Suicide Squad. They're just rushing everything for whatever reason. I mean, and it's not exactly turning out well. Suicide Squad was okay. It was better, in my opinion, than Batman versus Superman. Uh, Even though Batman versus Superman has its moments, um, it has its epic moments, but Batman versus Superman, it should have just been Batman versus Superman. It shouldn't have been, and it should not have been about Wonder Woman and Aquaman and all these other dudes making cameos. It it should have been the Joker and Lex Luthor teaming up to cause chaos, just like in the animated series where they team up and they're like, "Yo, I know you got a problem with what's his face. Uh, I can help you out." And they team up and then they cause a lot of chaos. So that would have been cool. Or if they team up to fight Lex, and Lex is doing something, but it just didn't. Like, why was Wonder Woman there? Why did she need to be there? It just didn't make sense. Was it just to grab her photo? Like why was she in the U.S.? It didn't seem to. Maybe I missed that, but like, it just didn't seem to make sense to me. Um, it just seemed like they were just shoehorning her in there and for no reason. I mean, and of course, feminists are going to be like, that's sexist, and that it's not sexist because I just went on about how awesome Gal Gadot was in Wonder Woman. I'm just saying that story-wise, like why was she there? Uh, I mean, sure, she helped and she fought and stuff like that, but it didn't make sense as to why. It's like it's like DC is just rushing to get ahead so that they can compete with Marvel. And to us and a lot of other fans, it's just very obvious that what they're trying to do. Um, it's obvious to me that they're trying to get the Justice League movie out around the same time as Marvel is supposed to release their next Avengers movie or Marvel group film, um, and they're trying to compete, but I feel like they should just take their time and introduce their own universe, one character at a time, so that people can get as entrenched in it as they are in Marvel's. So, bottom line, I give Wonder Woman an 8 out of 10. Well, actually, well, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. No, 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. So, I believe that Wonder Woman, her unfamiliarity with the world of men, and sort of her coming into the world and being astonished at its cruelty. I thought that was neatly portrayed. Her desire to be a warrior. She wasn't just some Mary Sue that was just born with like all these talents and was just instantly awesome and all powerful and great and cool and all that, but she actually put in work. She was already like special, but she still worked to be a great warrior. I mean, because you could be special and still get killed. Yeah. So it wasn't. I've never been a big Wonder Woman fan, but I've liked her character. I mean, I liked what she did with females. She did for females in comic books. Um, she set the standard. So I mean, I was very satisfied with this movie. I liked seeing Wonder Woman with the sword and the shield because in earlier depictions, uh, she only had like the lasso. It's not gonna do you well in a war. Uh, and of course, there are always the critics. You know, there's there's you're never gonna satisfy social justice warriors and feminists. So I mean, to DC studios, don't even try. Just keep doing what you're doing, but at least keep it on a good pace. I mean, there's always going to be some feminist critic like she's not feminist enough. She doesn't support abortion. She doesn't do this and that. There's always going to be some nut who's going to say like, oh my god, this is objectifying women or whatever, and just just ignore the noise and just keep making good movies. As long as you make quality movies, fans will see it, fans will flock to it, and all the scrubs complaining and whining about it will disappear. This is your boy Kos. Wonder Woman is a great movie. I'm very satisfied. Again, I'm very satisfied with it. Uh, Justice League, I think it's coming out too soon. They need to have the origin stories for Cyborg. They need to have the origin stories for Flash. I mean, in Batman vs Superman, they introduced them in 5 seconds. When Bruce Wayne was looking at a computer, so that's pretty rushed. That's pretty rushed to me. I mean, and honestly, I feel like they should just take the Flash from the TV show and just stick him in there because they already have his origin, down pat. Or they should have just taken the Christian Bale Batman and put him in this universe. And because fans are already familiar with him, they already know his backstory, and you don't have to do that extra work. But yeah, well, whatever happens. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see what they do with the movie franchise. So just have to see how Justice League turns out, how they introduce these characters, because having 5 second computer clips, having clips of Batman looking on his computer, it doesn't do justice to these characters with awesome origins and vastly complex stories. And personally, I think Cyborg should be introduced in a Teen Titans movie. That's just me. But maybe I'm being picky. But so far, so good. I mean, Wonder Woman's origin story was banging. Keep it up, DC. Solid 8 out of 10, or 7.5, around there. And Gal Gadot is an amazing actress. This is your boy Kos, signing out. Peace.